I'm curious if acting grabbed you to the point where it rose to the top of all your interests.
It did, absolutely. I think in high school that happened. I was still playing sports in high school, but I definitely, this is the most literal and silly example of this, but so I wrestled in high school for a brief period.
You did?
I did. And
gosh, your ears look really good. I didn't.
Well, you know, I did wear my headgear all the time. I didn't wrestle without it. Yeah, I don't have cauliflower ear. I never ended up with that. But yeah, I did that for a little bit. And the reason I joined actually my freshman year of high school was because the musical swapped seasons every other year. So my freshman year of high school, it was in the winter.
Okay.
And I didn't make the musical. And so I needed something to do, and a lot of my friends were wrestling, so I joined the wrestling team in the winter. And then the next year, it was in the spring. So I did the musical in the spring, or I wrestled in the winter and did the musical in the spring. And then my junior year, they fell on the same season again. And so I did Cats instead of wrestling that year.
You're like, huh.
Yeah. And then I was going to go back my senior year.
Imagine if you'd just gone the other way.
I know. But I was definitely more interested in theater and performing than sports.
What was it that got you?
Just doing it. I'd fallen in love with it in junior high, mostly musicals. I fell in love with it through musicals, and I'm actually not a great singer or a great dancer, but that was how I fell in love with performing. Was through singing and through musical theater. Mm-hmm. And realized at some point that I really had no other interests that I would have gone to study in college. I sort of went, well, I gotta go to drama school. You know?
Really?
Yeah.
So you were that serious about it at that point?
Yes.
And
I knew it was all I
that?
wanted to do. You know, nobody wants their kid to come home and be like, Mom, Dad, I'm gonna be an actor. You know, they were horrified.
Were they? Yeah,
yeah,
I can
they
imagine.
were like, but you're so smart, you know, please do something else. But they were great. They were tough on me about it. They were sort of like, if you really want to do this, then you're gonna have to do it yourself.
Was one more against it than the other, or did they want to test you? Or?
Yeah, they weren't fully against it. I think they were just nervous. They knew how hard it was and how few people are able to turn that into a lifelong career. You know, they weren't the kinds of parents who were sort of like, you can do anything and you're the best at it. They were sort of like, do you really think that's good enough? And maybe you should work a little harder. And I think it made me really self-sufficient. It made me work really hard. I felt like I had something to prove to them and to myself. It made me 100% certain early on that that was what I wanted to do.
Right.
It couldn't be a hobby. It would involve a lot of work.
Hey folks, thanks for watching. If you like what you just saw, then why not subscribe? Click right here for lots more off camera. And if you want to see the hour-long version of these conversations, I'm going to give you the secret link. Here it is, offcamera.com. Check it out.